Hey, welcome back to another video. We're going to go over all the new things that TradeZella has added. We're also going to go over a lot of favorites that people were liking about TradeZella and some of the new things that were added that have helped me trade better, that have helped me review better, and ultimately execute better. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to go over is uploading the trade. So TradeZella makes it very easy, and there's a lot of new brokers that are being added every single month. And if we look at the CSV, that's just when you upload a file. There's a lot of options to choose from, Thinkorswim being the most famous one, but there's also all of these brokers as well. All you got to do is just get the CSV file from there, and then you upload it here, and instantly you have all your trades in TradeZella. Another way you could do it is just that you connect your broker. This one, there's a few less choices, only these four you can do that with. However, CSV file is just as easy as well. Now, once you have all your trades in TradeZella, let's look at the user interface here. Now, after you got your trade uploaded, which was super fast and easy, you look at the dashboard. First, you're going to see the overall P&L. Then you're going to see the trade expectancy, the profit factor, the win percentage, and you see the whole P&L curve here along with the daily results. If you scroll down here, you see the calendar. And the calendar breaks down by day. And then if we go to the daily journal, now it divides it up by specific date. And then one of the newest features that were added here is that you can actually customize what you want to show up. So for example, if you wanted to show the tag and then you don't want it to show, for example, the P&L, you just want to look at it percentage wise, you can have it like that. If you want to show, if you don't want to see the volume, for example, you want to have the realized P&L, if you want to look up the Zella scale. So however you want to customize it, that's how you're going to do it for each one, and then it automatically uploads for all of these trades. So for the daily journal, you can instantly see a snapshot of how your trading day went. So for example, for December 20 on this Tuesday, you see the P&L minus 586. That's how the P&L went throughout the day. And then once you click the down arrow, it shows you how many trades you took and how you arrived at that P&L. On this specific day, you see, for example, how did I arrive at $244? You see that one trade was $31 profit, another one was $213. And then you can customize it to see exactly what data that you want. For example, how long you held the trade for, was it a short position or a long position? So really, so many different ways to customize it however you want to do it. And next is the trade log. The trade log, one of the best things that I like to look at when I'm looking at the trade log is the Zella scale. So for example, this trade, you see that the P&L was $33. Now, that might tell me, okay, it was a small loss, but the Zella scale allows us to look at it a little bit deeper. So if we look at the Zella scale, what it tells me here is that at one point I was down $687 and I was up at one point $200, right? And then now it already gives us a snapshot of how the trade looked like. Now if we scroll down and if we want a minute by minute dissection, there's a running P&L for every single trade, whether it was a stock trade or it was an option trade. And if we look at it here, you see the entry was around 938. At one point, 10 minutes later, I was down about $500. Now 687 was probably between the minutes. And then as you can see here, went green, and then you end up taking a loss. So by looking at it this way, you kind of get an understanding of what was going on during the trade, and you're not just looking at the end result. You're actually looking at the entire picture. If I just look at this and I say, okay, I only lost $33, I might think to myself, oh, it's a good trade because I cut the loss short. But what TradeZella does is that it peels back the onion, it peels back the layer and shows you how it was for the duration of that trade. And also, if you were here, I was trading shares, but if you happen to be trading an option, so for example, let's find a trade where there was an option contract. If you're looking at an option contract, there's going to be the price chart of the option premium moving. So you see exactly how the option price was moving, and at the same time you still have that running P&L. And not only do you have the option contract chart, but you also have the stocks chart itself. All right, and a lot of also extra information that might help. For example, this says net ROI was 242%. Crazy return on this one. I put in, so commissions and fees, bought it for about $100, sold it for $360, right? The P&L was $255. It tells you the percentage return. It tells you all the commission information, what was the volume. In this case, it was just one contract. So let's say after looking at the chart, and I already see how it looks, but imagine you wanted to look at it as the candles are happening. TradeZella has that feature that's called the replay feature. Now if we go here and we press play, the price starts moving as if we're watching it in real time. So I get in here, and you can speed it up however you want. You can have it be played normal. You can have it be playing sped up. So if you had it sped up at 30x, that means that every minute is passing by in 2 seconds, right? It's 30 times as fast. And on this trade, it was about a 4-minute trade. There's a lot of different ways that I can look at this trade. If I want to go back to when I entered, I just got to click that button right there and then zoom in. I can look at the candle that I entered. I can look at, was this a good entry for me, right? You have the level 2, you have the different speeds that you want. You don't have to sit there for the entire trade. You can speed it up and then watch as the candles are moving, right? And let's say you want to check out what happened an hour later. You can just speed it up, right? So I entered, exited on the way up, missed this part, and then it ends up coming back down to where I entered. So there's so many different ways that you can get better and that you can practice. Also, there's a lot of deep analytics, a lot of different ways that you can research your own trades and see where you're messing up. So many different ways in terms of, see how much you're making per month. You can see how much you're making or losing, for example, during different times of the day. I can see here most of the money that I've made has been in the first hour of the market open. You could see how many trades you're taking based on, distribution. Are you taking most of your trades at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock? You can also see how good you're doing depending on how long you're holding the trade. So for example, based on this, most of the money that I'm making is when I'm holding anywhere between 10 minutes and half an hour. And anytime trades go an hour or more, I'm losing money, right? So there's a lot of different ways that you can really get some detailed information on your own trading that might not be so obvious if you're just using maybe like an Excel sheet or a pen and paper, right? You can filter it by price, you can filter it by volume, by different instruments here. Amazon is the best stock that I'm trading. By sector, different setups that you'll be tagging yourself, along with the mistakes you're tagging yourself as well. Next up, you can filter it by options. For example, here, most profitable were option contracts that were expiring in 3 days, same day, 1 day, 2 days. So it really breaks down everything for you. And another thing that TradeZella is working on that's coming out soon is something called Zella Insights, where it's actually going to be telling you how you can be getting better as a trader. For example, it'll say something like, oh, you left 50% of your profits on the table. Might be a better idea to cut your profits sooner, things like that. And alongside with that is the university. Just like how the Insights is an AI that's going to be helping you getting better, university is a big one where there's a lot of webinars, where there's continuous development for your own trading journey. There's not only better ways to go around TradeZella and find all the right information, but also helpful tips and tricks for your own trading so that you can get better as a trader, right? How to use the trading playbook, how to build your own trading playbook, how to recap your trading month, traders development webinar with Umar Ashraf, how to recover your account after blowing it, risk management strategy, how to journal your trades. So many different educational material also that is on this site. And another new thing that's been added is notebooks, right? So anytime you create a note, it'll show up here. So instead of it being scattered, let's say for example you look at this trade and as you're reviewing it, let's say you add a note, right? Let's say you say great trade today, be careful over trading, or whatever you're adding notes here, right? As soon as you add this, let's go back to the notes. Everything automatically gets uploaded here, right? Now, let's say, for example, in your daily journal, right? So say you go to your daily journal, you're reviewing, let's say, this trade, for example, and let's say you see a mistake that you made, right? You go here, you put in a note, you know, don't overtrade, watch out for revenge trade, whatever the note is, for example. As soon as you save that, you go to your notebook, everything is put into your notebook. So all of your insights is included in the section, regardless of what day that it was made. So it's easy, and you know, when you're going to be reviewing your own trades and reviewing your own reflections, it's going to be, you know, very easy to access. And not only are you getting your notes, but you're also getting, when we're over here, we're not really getting the, you know, the whole picture. But when you do it the daily journal route, you're getting the entire picture of how that day went, right? So it tells you how the P&L was throughout the day, how you ended the day, how many trades you took that day. For example, let's look up a random date. Let's go to 2021 September, right? Let's look at how it was for September. We go to the journal. Let's scroll down. Let's see here, for example, $2,600 day. Whatever you feel like you did good here, you add a new note. You write it here. Traded good. Boom. You go back to the notebook. Here, automatically pops up. Again, everything is all integrated, so it'll show you how many trades you took that day, how many winners, how many losers, commission. Everything is included, the note that you took, and that's pretty much it for the note section, right? You can also do session recap. So for session recap, you can choose a specific month, 2021 here. Okay, boom. Again, it'll tell you how many trades you took, winners, losers, percentage, and then you just write whatever notes you want. And again, another thing you can do is have, you know, if you just want any random notes here, you also can create one here. A new thing that's really changed the game for me and helped me a lot in terms of deciding how I'm going to trade and just making everything clearer on a day-to-day aspect is the playbook. So the playbook section is breaking down exactly what kind of setups are you taking. So for me specifically, I have these 4 setups: bounce, rejection, breakout, and breakdown. And I only trade these 4 setups ideally, right, when I'm not revenge trading or anything like that. So let's say, for example, you find a trade that fits, right? As you're reviewing, you're seeing, okay, I took this trade. Let's say this was, you know, a bounce, for example. So let's say I want to add this. So I go here, click the checkbox, do bulk actions, add to playbook, add it to the bounce, and then boom. Now, if we go back to the playbook, you're going to see here, it's going to show all the trades that I've taken. If you have rules, for example, specifically, you'll add it in this section. All the executed trades that you've added are going to show up here. Any missed trades, you can add it here as well. Okay, I missed this bounce, so you'll say here was where I was supposed to enter, and then, you know, you'll get ideas of how you won't miss the next play like that, right? And any other notes that you want to add as well, you can put it in here. For a quick recap, I'm really going to go over what we just talked about. So we got the clean user interface, we got all the analytics, the different types of ways that we can mix and match how we want to look at it, whether it's by a monthly aspect or how long we're holding a trade, the stock that we're trading. So many different ways to look at it. You know, you have the notebook feature, you have the playbook feature, and all of these, not to mention the replay feature. So many different ways that you can review your decisions and kind of see how you can get better. And doing this slowly but surely, you're going to get better as a trader by looking at what are the best types of trades, when are you making the most money, when are you losing money, and just TradeZella makes it very easy to see what you're good at and what you're not good at. And over time, you just have to learn to start doing more of what's making you money and do less of what's making you lose money, right? And the playbook or notebook feature or even the trade replay feature would make you see, okay, I got in here because of XYZ, ended up being a big loss. Make sure not to do XYZ again, right? A quick rundown into how I would personally journal is that whenever I would upload a trade into TradeZella, the first thing I want to do is just go and look at how the day went, right? And see how many trades did I take, go into each individual trade, kind of watch the trade replay and look at the running P&L. And another thing would be just very quickly, I want to always look at what the TradeZella scale is saying. So I'll add the TradeZella scale here, and I want to know what was the most I was down. So for this specific trade, being down 200 bucks, making 750, at one point being up 888, it shows me that I locked in most of the profit. This was a great trade, right? And if I want even more deep insights on it, I'll go and see, okay, why did I enter? Was it a good entry for me? All right, so on this specifically, again, I played the bounce. P&L was never down big. Quick trade from 930 to 934, right? So just things like that, I'm able to see right away, was it a good trade or a bad trade? And I'll just do this consistently. And once you look at this over and over, it just becomes very easy to see what your strategy is and what you should stay away from, right? Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below, and see you on the next video.